Guys, you definitely have to see this. Did Ripple just have settlement talks with SEC? Yo. Ex-social media user BabaBoy76239 posted images of Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and chief lawyer Stuart Alderati outside of a New York federal courthouse earlier today. There was supposed to be a settlement conference on Friday, according to the court listener database. Fox Business correspondent Eleanor Terrett spoke with a Ripple representative who stated that the company has nothing to share. According to Terrett, this may simply be a pre-trial conference meeting that was intended to happen on April 16. U.S. District Judge Annalisa Torres ordered a minimum of 1 hour of face-to-face settlement negotiations between the parties. Therefore, a settlement with the SEC this Friday seems quite unlikely for Ripple. The regulator is reportedly requesting that Ripple pay over $2 billion in fines and costs, according to you today. Hopefully, the astronomical amount will discourage such transgressions. Chris Larson, co-founder of Ripple, and CEO Garlinghouse have both spoken out strongly against the SEC. At the same time, Alderati claims that the SEC is attempting to scare Ripple and the cryptocurrency sector as a whole with these demands. The battle is far from finished for Ripple, as the company is expected to submit its response next month. Meanwhile, Charles Gasparino of Fox Business is certain that the SEC will appeal Torres's contentious decision in the Ripple case. The order did not identify the XRP coin as an unregistered securities, which was a victory for the San Francisco-based company. The continuing XRP litigation has legal experts predicting a possible XRP price drop in SEC urges Ripple to dump $2 billion worth of XRP. As part of the continuing legal battle between Ripple and the SEC, legal expert Jeremy Hogan has spoken out against the SEC's plan to seek a massive $2 billion fine against Ripple. The value of XRP might fall even more, according to Hogan's warning, because Ripple would have to sell a lot of the coin if it were forced to comply. Hogan argues that this goes against the SEC's stated goal of protecting investors and would be bad for individual investors. Hefty fine strategy details were leaked by Hogan to the press. The Securities and Exchange Commission's request for final judgment is condemned by Hogan in no uncertain terms. This motion is an effort to punish Ripple severely for what is said to be a violation of federal securities laws by the company's institutional sales. He claims that if the court agreed with the SEC, Ripple would have no choice but to sell off massive amounts of XRP from its assets, which would drive down the price of XRP and punish individual investors. Investors are scratching their heads over XRP's lackluster performance over the past few months. They claim that Ripple's monthly XRP sales have caused price suppression, which is causing it to underperform, even though the legal status is quite apparent. Despite the fact that Ripple regularly releases 1 billion XRP from its escrow accounts on a monthly basis, concerns on how these sales may affect XRP's value persist, but it's still hard to find proof that these sales are related to poor performance. Selling XRP is unnecessary. Vandal Aldra, co-founder of Black Swan Capitalist, advised XRP investors to ignore calls to sell their holdings despite the cryptocurrency's poor performance, according to analysts. In the midst of the current storm, this advice was delivered. On the Discover Crypto channel, he disagreed with Joshua Jake's suggestion that XRP token holders sell their holdings. Jake offered this recommendation after analyzing XRP's recent performance relative to those of other cryptocurrencies. Jake advised that in order to make the most of the present market cycle, investors look into alternate assets. With just a 5.9% increase over the last 90 days, XRP has grown at a far slower rate than other alternative cryptocurrencies. When compared to its rivals, who saw increases in the double digits over the same time span, this is a significant drop. To get out of the XRP hole in the future, the company may have to sell 3.22 billion XR tokens at 62 cents each coin if the court rules in favor of the SEC and imposes the $2.1 penalty on Ripple. However, as CEO Brad Garlinghouse mentioned earlier this year, Ripple might utilize its purported $1 billion cash reserves to pay the fine. The short-term effects on XRP's market dynamics would be lessened by this. The cryptocurrency community is understandably alarmed by the CSC's threat to punish Ripple an unprecedented $2 billion for XRP, according to CEO Brad Garlinghouse. Without proper legal justification, the SEC's action is unreasonable and might hurt the industry, potentially damaging to XRP market value and investor confidence The proposed fines port in a future legal battle for Ripple. This development is seen as an integral aspect of the continuing legal struggle between Ripple and Inc., the regulatory authority, and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission over the digital coin XRP. The announcement sent shockwaves through the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Officials from Ripple have been vehemently against the Securities and Exchange Commission's plan to impose these heavy fines, according to court documents that were revealed on Tuesday, March 26. Judges have taken note of the SEC's history of illegal behavior under Gensler and have scolded the agency for its flagrant disregard for the law in its dealings with Ripple and the debt box, respectively, as well as for its flagrant abuse of the authority granted to it by Congress. Keeping that in mind is essential. Brad Garlinghouse is known as Boarding House. On March 25, 2024, CEO Brad Garlinghouse of Ripple Labs strongly denounced the potential penalties that the SEC was contemplating imposing on social media. The suggested punishment, he said, was both disproportionate and illegal. Garlinghouse made it clear that the SEC's accusations do not include any assertions of negligence or fraud. This raises more questions about the commission's intentions and their broader strategy for regulating the Bitcoin industry. The SEC's measures have ignited a passionate debate within the Bitcoin community. A large portion of society views the proposed fine as excessive and irrational. In his critique, Garlinghouse brought to other instances where the legitimacy of the SEC's regulatory actions was questioned. Debtbox and the SPF fraud waiver were some of the instances he mentioned. The commission's actions, he argued, show a lack of regard for due process and an inclination toward overreach. The Securities and Exchange Commission's proposed fine is a major development in the protracted legal battle. The broader implications for Ripple and the cryptocurrency industry are, however, cause for alarm, if levied, the fine might have far-reaching consequences for Ripple's business and the value of XRP, the native coin of the company. It also draws attention to the ongoing regulatory uncertainty in the Bitcoin business, which can deter investment and limit innovation. Experts are cautiously optimistic about XRP's future, despite the fact that the SEC's actions continue to pose hurdles. According to technical analyst Akash Jiramath, XRP has demonstrated resilience despite market headwinds, and the cryptocurrency has also maintained a solid support level at 586 cents. In light of the ongoing legal turmoil, Jiramath predicted that other cryptocurrencies would have a breakout if Bitcoin's price stays above $59,000. For XRP investors, this is a ray of hope. Members of the Bitcoin community will closely monitor any new information as it becomes available. The outcome of the ongoing legal dispute between Ripple and the SEC remains uncertain. The regulatory climate around cryptocurrencies is now in a state of flux, and this case will have far-reaching effects on both Ripple and XRP. Everyone is waiting to see how Ripple reacts to the SEC's suggestion for an unusual fine at a time when investors are preparing for the risk of market volatility. In a tweet, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse responded to the CC's actions by emphasizing the company's commitment to protecting its interests in resisting government meddling. The unwavering confidence he has in Ripple's ability to withstand challenges has deeply resonated with investors. That's all for now.